beat is so nice. So nice, so nice, so nice. I just had to chill and listen to that beat for a second. What's up, everybody? What's up? This is Paul Newell on a late live stream. I've been off my game, man. I've been in a lot of service lately. And that's what this live stream is about, being a service. And I want to touch base on the reason that we're doing this, or reason I'm doing this. And before I get into it, I want to tap into a quote, one of my favorite quotes from a book called The Way of the Peaceful Warrior, I think it's called The Peaceful Warriors by Dan Millman. And there's a character in the book, Socrates, and he said, there is no greater purpose than service to others. There's no greater purpose than service to others. Listen, first time I heard this, first time I read it in the book, and then I was blown away. Then when I heard it, I was like, oh, damn, man, this is deep. The reason why this is so important, or this has been a big thing for me, and listen, if you're watching this on YouTube, bless up to you. Tap on the like, hit subscribe so you can see more of these videos as they go on, and as I do more of them, hopefully consistently. and listen, share with a friend. If you know someone that's always in service, please share this with them, because I think there's going to be some things in here that are going to be relevant to them. If you're someone that's always in service, I think there's going to be some things that are relevant to you. So here's the situation. Recently, if you're watching me on Facebook, you most likely seen some of the pictures that I posted from some of the events that I've been participating in and facilitating. Specifically about the bridge that took place in the city on April 7th. Now, me, I've been in service for a long time. I mean, May will be 10 years I've been involved with the Mankind Project, and to me, that's a service organization. And a lot of being in service, especially recently, has had me really reflect on what is my purpose. Like, what's the purpose of me being in service? And especially when I'm looking at the amount of service I'm doing and also my finances. So it's wild, because like in my therapy, I was talking about, like, man, listen, I'm on this track right now. Like, I'm looking to get paid, man. Like Eric B and Rakim, man, paid in full. And my therapist hit me with this reframe. She said, no, you're going to get paid for your service and services. Bless up, Alona. I appreciate you for that. And from then, it started me thinking about what is the concept of service. So today, one of my other acts of service, or one of my other service spaces, which is also financial, is the Brotherhood of Kings. It is a for-profit business that I'm a co-owner of with Jermaine Johnson and Michael Taylor, and it's an educational platform for men of color. So we host these circles on Wednesdays, and I've been having a really rough couple of days. Like, I'll reveal more about that as time goes on, and after this whole situation is done. But I was really having a rough go past several days, and I noticed I started to resent the service that I was doing, because like, there was a situation, I was looking for more finances and I didn't have it. I'm like, I'm doing all this service, and I was getting all of my feelings. And I took some time to be in meditation and reflect. And it had me on these 3 paths that I want to share with you that helped me to reestablish a balance between when I'm in service, what are the ways that I'm selfless, and what are the ways that I'm selfish. Okay, so when I look at this, especially looking at the definitions, being selfless is really being about altruistic. It's being generous, it's being kind, it's thinking of others, thinking of a bigger picture. When I think about selfish or self-serving, it's really thinking about more of self more than anything else. Now, here's the interesting thing about this. When I brought this to this circle within the BKC, it's a Wednesday wisdom circle. I love the Wednesday wisdom circles because it's an opportunity to connect with other men of color and hear wisdom from everyone. I did a video about elder energy earlier. It's the same thing. I think elder energy can come from anywhere, as long as people have learned something, have integrated it for themselves, and they're able to teach and share with others, so they can make new mistakes, or so that they can level up. When I started really thinking about this and proposed this question, this inquiry to the group, we started talking about the having a balance between the two, and here's why. When we and this comes to the first, well, it's important because if I'm failing to balance the two, then what happens is then I'm failing to, as either focus too much on being selfish and like in my own personal gain, or I'm focused too much on serving others, and I have no conscious concept or no concept of serving myself. I forgot to mention because I'm so used to thinking this is just on Facebook. This is on YouTube too. So if you've gotten this far and you're like, who the heck is this guy talking about service? My name is Paul Newell. I am a shift starter. I help men drop their mask. I help men step into the arena of themselves and face themselves, their stories, their patterns, and I help men claim the life that they're destined to live. Thank you for hearing that. So coming back to the concept here. So when we talked about this, I started asking these questions of the group that I started asking myself when I was in this meditation earlier today. So here are the questions that I started asking myself, and I'm going to invite you to ask these of yourself. The first question is, what are you in service to? When I started looking at this for myself, I knew that I recognized and acknowledged that I'm in service to men of color, or really men, and specifically men of color, that and I'm in service to them and empowering them. And when I dove into the reason that's my what I'm in service to, I started looking back on my childhood and my experiences and all these ways that I taught myself how to empower myself. I had mentors. I recognized the need for empowerment, especially when there were certain times in my life where I really was feeling low self-worth and feeling all this unworthiness and low value and all these things. It took a level of empowerment for me to get me out of that and past that. So that's a big reason that I'm in service to men in general, because like going through the court systems, family court, divorce, financial, all these things, like I recognize that men really, there's no conversation or no really a space for men to express what they're experiencing and be able to up level or to empower themselves through their situation and circumstance. So when I think about that, that's why I'm of service to men and men of color that are going through life circumstances, defeat, and all these things. Now, when I acknowledged that, then I came back to this situation of, how does my service fill my cup? And this is when I started to really recognize, like, my main thought was, okay, this is how is it filling my financial cup? And then I started to really recognize, like, yeah, there's a matter of a financial cup, and there's also a matter of a emotional or mental, a spiritual cup as well. Because I'm focusing only on the financial, then like what happens to my mental, my physical, my emotional. So how do service fill my cup? Like, it fills my cup because, first of all, now I'm getting paid for my service. Now I'm getting paid for things that I put out there for men, like the Step Into the Arena program. You're seeing that I'm doing stuff called Soul Speak Mastery. What's your story? I have some other things coming out. Even the book, being able to write the book, Heal That Man Method. These are all service tactics for me, and that's how it fills my cup. I'm able to take what I learned and then share it with other men. So when I see men read and I get the feedback about the book and everything that people are saying about the book, I'm like, oh, Jug, thank you so much. Neftari, thank you, girl. Appreciate it. Good stuff. Thank you for that. Please share. Please share. Especially anybody you know that is of service to others. Please share this, because I think it's important for them to acknowledge their service and how they contribute and the reason that they contribute. Now, when I looked at how this is filling my cup, I realized that I get to be selfish, because I got to take care of myself first, and then I can be selfless. There's got to be a transition. There's got to be a balance there in how does service fill my cup. Now, the last one, the third one that I think is very important for us to understand is that when we start looking at our service, Just like how my bless up, thank you. Oh, listen, and yeah, Omar, like, listen, this is, and I'm calling you out. Oh, listen, this I've yet to know Lydell Henry, and I just know Omar. I know Omar is a man that is a man of the community, a man of service, because like he's a homegrown kid from Jersey City, went back to Jersey City, opened up a spot, and he is of service of his community. So he's being selfless because he's opened up a spot in the community to help his community get healthy and well. Now, also, I know Omar's been selfish as far as his education, learning, diving in, really putting that as a priority to even like look about different herbs for people to detox. This is a perfect example of being selfish and selfless, and how the balance of the two creates a bigger service for the people. Now, coming back to this third thing, being paid for your service. So I think this is important because as we go out there, and if you're a person of service, I think it's important for you to get paid for your service. And what does that mean? It can be financial, yes. It can also be emotional. It could be mental. Like I know for me, I get paid with my services. Like I was telling you about, people pay me to go to enter into my programs. Also, I get paid when I see men get it. When I see men step to their stories, rewrite their stories, when I see men be able to address their patterns and rewire themselves, change their language, how they talk to themselves, that amps me up. That's payment for me. So I think it's important that we recognize that level of service is will bring rewards. And a gentleman called a gentleman by the name of Earl Nightingale, one of the guys I listened to in the morning, he says something specific. I wrote it down because I want to make sure I get this quote. He said, "Your reward in life is in direct proportion to your service." He says this because he says when you're sensing that your finances or things in life are going low, what's your service look like? Because if you're, and he looks at service as putting your efforts, your gifts, your genius forward in a way that supports others. And when we do that, riches and rewards come. And again, riches can be financial, it can be a ton of other things. It could be your health, because maybe if a lot of times when we're talking about this in the circle, there comes a time when people, like I saw this a lot when I was working with people with retired executives in SCORE back in the day. When I first started Balanced Wellness and I lost my job at ADP, I was meeting a lot with these SCORE, which is the service. It's a service core of retired, or service seat of retired executives. So it's men and women that have been in corporate America, and now they're at the latter part of their career. So now they're supporting other entrepreneurs coming up and giving them guidance. They were selfish as far as accumulating their riches, their knowledge, their experience, and then they became selfless to be able to share that with another. So I think I'm going to leave it there for right now because it's 11:38 and a brother's got to go to bed because I got a 5:30 wake up tomorrow. So in to wrap this up, what are you in service to? Ask yourself this question. Be honest with it. Okay, be honest with it. And if you want to dive into it more, you can start looking at, well, hey, well, what's the reason I'm in? What's the origin story of that? Number two, how does service fill your cup? Check in on that, because if you're failing to recognize how service fills your cup, then there's a problem. Your cup's got a lot of holes. It's time to plug them in and figure out how you are filling your cup and how you're nourishing yourself so that you're able to go out and nourish others. This is a lesson I'm learning right now. So I don't want you to think that I'm talking to you from up on high. I'm I'm working with this too. This is a practice. This isn't something that changes overnight. So, and the third one is being paid for your service. Again, that Earl Nightingale quote: "Your reward in life is in direct proportion to your service." So, listen, bless up to you all. Thank you for giving me this 15 minutes, 15 minutes of time to really go through this. I appreciate you. I damn sure appreciate you. And bless up to you. Listen, pay it. Let's share this, like this, all that good stuff. I appreciate you, Neftari. Thank you for sharing this. And others that see this, share this. Show this to people, especially those ones you appreciate or ones that you see are so much in service that they're lacking taking care of themselves. So bless up to you. If you have any questions, leave in the comments. I'll get back to them another time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm out. Peace.